It's a good football team, North Carolina State, and our guys were up to the task. I think what's impressive to me is that they consistently come out with, the energy and the mindset to get after their opponent, and that was evident again today. I think what was most impressive for me, coaching for as long as I have, when you get a punt blocked. It has a tendency to really affect your football team. Our guys never flinched. It was as if nothing ever occurred other than let's get back out on the field and get back to work. And that's hard to build. And it took us a long time to get to that. And our guys just have that never flinch, keep playing one play at a time. And the cumulative effect of that is what you saw today, is that we could run the ball 15, 16 consecutive times at the end of the game against a very, very good North Carolina State football team. So, again, the superlatives, individual, Adams over 200 yards, Brandon Wimbush efficient, again, did some really good things. His presence out there is calm. He just, continues to lead our football team in a manner that makes us a very, very good football team. So, again, a lot of respect for North Carolina State. That's a darn good football team, but our team was up to the task today. So with that, we'll open it up to questions.
Just raise your hand and we'll get you a mic.
Brian, it's hard to single people out on your defense, but Julian Love, Tavon Coney had some big plays for you when the game was pretty tight. Can you expand on your defense?
Yeah, I think that the defense as a whole was, first of all, on body, pass breakups, and then, holding a team that is so efficient offensively to 7 points. It's got to be one of our best performances in some time defensively against. That's an outstanding quarterback. Even on the drive that they scored, he had to make 3 outstanding throws, and even the one they scored on. So Coney was, again, all over the field. He got the game ball from us, back-to-back games where he's just ascending, playing really, really good football. Julian Love comes up with the great pick 6 again, 2 times this year. Really kind of gave us a momentum swing there big in the game.
And you mentioned Brandon's efficiency in the passing game. You feel like that's going to continue, and also you didn't have a lot of planned runs for him today.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that, we go into the game with plan runs. A lot of them are off read option, and they gave us the opportunity not to – they had somebody assigned to them, but it opens up other things. Rushing against that defense to rush for 300 yards, what would you say? I mean, that's pretty impressive. The matchup was going to be, I think, the number 6 ranked rush defense against our offense, and, I think we came out on top there.
Coach, back here. You're 2/3 of the way through the season now. I'm just curious what your assessment of your football team is as opposed to where they were in week 1.
Oh, we've gotten better each and every week. We're physically stronger, so mentally we've established a mindset as to how we play, and then I think our kids are trusting the teaching. And so, if you take the physical, the mental, and the teaching, it's a team that is getting better.
You mentioned Josh in your opening remarks, but another 200-plus performance with another touchdown that went for over 60 yards. As far as his Heisman candidacy goes, what do you think?
It was 77 yards.
60-plus, yeah, 77 yards.
I know it was in front of me, so I wanted to make sure you were accurate.
What do you think this game says about him in that regard?
I just think if you wait till the end of the year, a lot of the questions will get answered. If you don't vote, or if you hold your vote until the end of the year, that'd be great. I think he's a great back, and there are other great players that are up for the Heisman, but he continues to play against top competition and continues to excel on a very good football team. And again, there's plenty of really good football left in this season, and I think we should just let it play out.
Brandon, down here in front of you. Going back to Brandon real quick, there were fewer designed runs or options for him, but there also seemed to be fewer times where he took it out of the pocket. How much of that was North Carolina State having somebody assigned to him, and how much of that was his progress and going through his reads and maturing in that respect?
We ran one play in particular where he came back in the fourth quarter to his fourth progression to Stefferson on a curl. Started into the boundary to Smythe, went to an boundary up read, and worked all the way back to the field. It's the first time he's done it this year. I was pretty excited on the sideline myself. But, there's little things that are coming. The throw to Smythe where he does a great job of getting his foot down. I think he may have taken off last week or 2 weeks ago. So I think there's a fine balance there. I think he's confident and wants to throw the football and can throw the football. I think he'd like to have the throwback from Stefferson, just overthrew him a little bit. But there's a lot of really good growing that's happening each and every week with Brandon.
Brian, right in front. Your guys have said a lot of superlatives in the past couple of weeks. They talk about dominating and punishing the opponent. Is there a mindset amongst this group that they don't just expect to win, but they expect to win big?
We don't talk about winning. Winning's not even part of our vocabulary. We didn't talk about winning any games this year. It's about, a mindset that we've created to dominate our opponent. And so winning's not even part of the equation with this group.
Brian, right here. With Josh, how much of this is him? How much of it is who's around him, and also the philosophy that you guys have on offense this year to run the ball?
I think you've answered the question. It's really all three. I mean, he's an outstanding player. His physicality, his ability. I don't know how many runs he's had outside the tackle box. I mean, they're up inside, so it's not like you can't misfit them. I mean, they're there. He breaks through, and then he's got the speed to extend the play like he has. So he's a unique player in that regard. But we're really good up front collectively, and I think we keep the pace and tempo to a level where if you misfit a play, it's a home run. And I think philosophically we're sticking with it. I think in terms of runs, this was the most that he's had. He still didn't have a carry in the fourth quarter, but he had 27. So philosophically, we're sticking with the run, and so all three of those things are working together.
Brian, right here. Sticking with Josh, what specifically were you guys able to just kind of take advantage of with him? What did you see?
I think it's just accumulation of a lot of different things that we're trying to attack. I mean, they're a really good defense, and so you have to be in the running game, striking a little bit everywhere. You saw us, pin and pull and try to get the ball outside, which helps our zone inside read game. We ran tackle pull, we ran guard pull, power. I mean, it's a diverse run game, and I think more than anything else, kind of like my last question and answer would be, we're just sticking with it because we're physical up front, and we're going to break some through, and it's just having that patience and keeping the chains moving and giving us that opportunity.
Brian, you mentioned that the team did not flinch after the blocked punt. This was the first time you trailed since Boston College. How much did you want to see what the response would be to some adversity, and was that the response that you expected?
I'm not surprised that we didn't flinch. We're prepared and trained for it. We've got grit and we've got all the things necessary if we find ourselves in that kind of game. But if we win by 5 touchdowns every game, I'd be fine with that too. It seems sometimes unreasonable to think in those terms, but I wouldn't short this group anything. They have a mindset about how they want to play the game, and they've been really good at it, but they have all the other skills necessary to deal with whatever happens during the game. And like I said, they didn't flinch, and I don't expect them to flinch when they get into tight games as well.
Brian, Bradley Chubb came out firing early on. Did you guys make some adjustment to him because he was pretty quiet thereafter? There's so many things that we have in our arsenal that if we feel like we're not going to be able to hold up one-on-one, we try to do a lot of things. So there was some chipping going on. There was extending him out with a tight end to his side. We flipped the formation a couple of times to extend him out. We read him a lot in option game to keep him out of the backfield. He's a heck of a player. And then we ran the ball and try to minimize his effectiveness in terms of the pass rush.
How confident were you that you were going to give Finley his first interception? It looked like, I mean, obviously Julian Love was jumping some of those quick throws.
Yeah, he's an outstanding quarterback. I mean, I really, really have a lot of respect for him in terms of some of the throws that he made early on. We felt like we could be on their receivers, so we were very confident that we were going to be on body and that we were going to have some opportunities. Julian got a little probably greedy on the double move. It was a first down, second down. He should know. You're going to get double moves on first and second down, especially after you have a ball deflection, on a third down play. But he knew exactly what I was saying to him. So we were pretty confident that we could get on body with them.
What did you feel you could do defensively once Hines left the game? I mean, that's
He's
real speed
he's a great weapon. Again, he impacted special teams. We felt he was a big special teams piece for us, and we had plans for him. And then in the running game, he was more of a home run hitter. So we just had to be slower on the backside. I'll give you an example. The first series, we overran a cutback to Samuel early on in that first series. He may be, that might have turned into a bigger play. So you have to, with a player like that, you have to stay behind him, and that was our plan with him.
Coach, you talked about how efficient. What's that? You talked about how efficient Finley was coming to this game. I think he completed almost 70% of his passes. Besides playing up, and kind of sitting on some of those hitches and quick outs, was there anything specific you guys did to kind of create some? It just didn't seem like he was as decisive and getting rid of the ball as quick as
we got him in a lot of third down situations. We leveraged them to so many third down situations that we can do a lot of things when we get into our dime and nickel situations. We can give them a lot of coverage looks. We were in cover 2. The corners are rolled up. We're playing, Seattle. We're playing 4. I mean, we might have been in 6 to 8 different coverage variations and different looks that he had to kind of work himself through each time. So leverage in third down was key for us, where we got him into a lot of third down situations.
The last 2 weeks, you've played high impact, explosive pass offenses, but you guys seem to have come out early and put a lot of emphasis on stopping the run. I think today you gave up 50 yards to a team that had at least 242 in 3 of their last 5 games.
Right.
USC obviously had run the ball effectively. They couldn't run on it. How important is it for you to come out early, establish the run defense, and then kind of maybe force the pass game to be more, to take control?
Yeah, I don't know that, there's not necessarily a plan early as much as there is just the way we play our defense. And we're attacking the line of scrimmage. We're doing a great job up front. Our defensive line is controlling the line of scrimmage, quite frankly. And our backers are fitting. Our front 7 is doing a great job. And, if we make you one-dimensional, we can do some things in the back end to keep you off balance.